Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. We are joined by Rebecca Matthews. Rebecca is a mom of four, owner of Corduroy restaurant in Kitsilano, British Columbia, Canada, who defied the unjust ban on indoor dining and was ordered closed by Vancouver Coastal Health. Thanks so much for joining us today, Rebecca.
Thanks for having me.
I came across you by watching a video that was circulating on social media, and it reminded me very much of the stance that the pastor in Calgary had to take when the police showed up on his doorstep, actually, on his property, up the stairs while he was performing service. And I'll actually be speaking with that pastor as well. But I wanted to bring a little bit more awareness to restaurant owners like yourself who are having to run a business, support their families, and figure things out during the lockdowns. And I will start, if it's okay with you, by playing this video. Mm-hmm. And can you again give us just this bit of a background to the context of this video?
Yes. So I can't remember the exact date, but a couple of weeks ago, all restaurants had to cease indoor dining. If you have a patio, you can continue service, but we are a small restaurant. We have no patio. And so having this lockdown come into effect, it was just the final straw for me. We've just been hit one time after another for this last year, and the initial lockdown actually closed us for 6 months. So when this happened again, I just had an intuition that no, we need to take a stand. This is unjust. They had no data, no scientific evidence. They gave us no, they didn't give us a chance to even remedy the situation. It was just blindsided by this indoor ban. And so within 5 days, I had sort of connected myself with people that were helping small businesses all across Canada, helping them stay open during these lockdowns. And so we decided to open up on the weekend. And this was actually the second night we had opened. The first night we had lots of support, but no visits from any sort of authorities. And then the video you're going to see is the second night we were open when Vancouver Coastal Health came in. I exercised my rights and I let him know that they were trespassing and could you please leave? And then the patrons of the restaurant sort of took over for me.
Okay, we'll watch this together.
Okay.
So we just got file on health inspector here.
I am a woman and you see the signs on the door there, so no trespass. Okay, and you understand what you're doing here, you're trespassing on my property. You don't agree? Okay.
Well, we are. You can ask to leave. Get out! 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 Get out!
You know, the satisfaction of seeing something like that is almost like the one where, you know, that kid in the playground is getting bullied by one or two or a group of people, and you see this avalanche of support backing up that kid and saying, no, this is not right, and we won't stand for this. Like, it's that kind of feeling that it brings up for me personally.
Yeah. I mean, I do feel bad for the man because, I mean, he's just doing his job, who I'm sure he wasn't expecting to be working through a pandemic. So a part of me feels bad that happened, but at the same time, you know, he's walking around shutting down businesses and for people that are just trying to earn a living. So
What was he saying? What was the conversation about? What was their intention coming to
He was
see you?
handing me a closure order,
Hmm.
saying that we were in violation of the public health order, so it was an immediate closure order, and we were supposed to close immediately. We stayed open that night. Police ended up coming, but they never came inside to speak to me. I think they were there to sort of keep the peace. I'm not sure if that was a coincidence or if they were called. I'm not sure, but they never came in. And we ended up selling out of food that night, and so we ended up closing the next day. And then it was the day after that that we received on our door our business license suspension.
Okay, so where does that then stand right now? Are you open for business, or are you closed for
So
business?
we decided to get legal help and make sure we take the next steps carefully and cautiously. So we're working with them, and it's supposed to be reinstated on April 20th, which is 5 days. I've contacted Vancouver Coastal Health because they're supposed to issue an inspection before that's reinstated, and they have not gotten back to me. I'm sure they are angry with me, so they are not returning my call as quickly as they should. So yes, on the 20th, then that would entails, and then would be allowed to do takeout, but still no indoor dining. It's looking like the indoor dining is still going to be extended to at least May long weekend now.
Okay. Okay, and what does that look like? Like, how is that affecting you? How is that affecting you as, breadwinner for the family of 4?
It's huge. Our business is closed. Takeout it's an option for us, but because of just the way our restaurant is and overhead costs, it usually ends up being a loss. So even though we will have some takeout orders come in, it actually costs us money to do that. So if things don't change, unless we are open for indoor dining, then our doors could literally be shut forever.
And I'm seeing people like you and me, like lay people who don't have any sort of stance or political affiliation or anything to gain from it personally. But I've seen videos from everyday people going around town in BC and in Ontario as well, where they're taking pictures or they're taking videos and posting it online of all the businesses to shut down. We're not seeing this on mainstream media. It's not making the news. And I think this is why I felt really compelled to reach out to you and offer you a platform through which your voice can be amplified more.
Thank you.
What are you doing with regards to your kids? So you have 4 little children.
Mm-hmm.
Are they in school? Are they, what are you doing? Because you're in BC, Canada. And I wanted to just to kind of let people around different parts of Canada or different parts of the world know what it looks like to be, raising a family in your part of the world right now.
Yeah, well, we decided to homeschool our kids this year just because we had no idea what the school was going to look like, what kind of restrictions were going to come on the kids that we weren't going to be comfortable with. So we decided to homeschool this year. And it's been really good. I mean, they are definitely feeling the effects of not being able to go to their friends' houses, because here you can't go to other people's houses. You can't have people in your house. You can have up to 10 people in your backyard now. Yeah, their sports they play hockey and they played soccer. There was no games allowed, so it was very like they make sure they stay socially distanced the whole time. So it's a lot. It's been a lot for them. Yeah, I never would have expected this to happen. But I mean, the great thing is that we become a lot closer, spending a lot more time together and being active with each other, getting outside in nature a lot. So that's been good. But they're definitely feeling the effects of not being connected with their friends, for sure.
You know what I've pictured since 3.5 years ago, just with the arrival of our youngest, I pictured us having like community pods where as parents, we would get together within a community and figure out what we ultimately wanted to convey to our children, what we wanted to teach them, and how we wanted to support and nurture them. And then collectively, as a community, we either then decided, who would take turns offering those lessons or being of support to the kids, or we then hire 1 or 2 teachers to come in and teach the children at different times of the week within that community pod. So I still have that vision alive, and I feel like, especially now with what's going on within the school system, and again, every province within Canada is operating a little bit differently. I spoke with a mom, her video is on this platform as well, Najla, and she's on the border of Quebec and Ontario, and things are, in Quebec they have a curfew of what used to be 8 p.m., now it's 9 p.m., and in Ontario the kids have to be masked all day, every day at school from grade 1 onward. So, and I know in BC the rules, I mean, they're not law, they're rules, and I think sometimes people misinterpret and say, no, this is a law. It's not a law. This is just rules that have been implemented within this with this time of what's been categorized as a pandemic. But the mandates that have, or the rules that have been mandated, are that children, correct me if I'm wrong, is it within children 12-year-old and up are needing to wear masks in BC right now?
Yes, and they just recently changed it actually to grade 4 and up now have to wear masks at school. Okay. So I'm very happy we decided to homeschool, because I personally think that is horrifically wrong.
Yeah, I agree with you. Okay, so I'm going to pull up your latest post on social media platform, which I really loved and deeply resonated with. And, moms are stepping to the forefront like you and I, because we're seeing that the future that we're creating and we're being a part of right now is not the future that we ultimately want for our children. And that's why I'm here on this platform, inviting everyday heroes like yourself. And that's why you've taken the stance that you have as well. So let me share the screen here. I know most of you think I'm absolutely insane for what I did. However, what I see happening is a world I don't want my children growing up in. Panic, fear, divisiveness, censorship, overreaching control to the point of causing harm, where we no longer ask questions and instead blindly trust. I believe we all have an intuition, a radar that guides us through life, yet I fear most are ignoring this or are being suppressed by fear. Mine has been burning inside, and I just could no longer be silent about it. I know some will think I did this for my business, but it is so much bigger than that, and I'm just getting started. Few things are more scary than an angry mother, and you hashtag it as mother's love and hashtag mama instinct. That's okay. I love that so much. Oh, hello. That's okay. I'm surprised mine haven't sprung in all this time. Thank you for putting that up, and I really appreciate your courage and your voice, because it definitely does. It definitely feels like we're going against the grain here. My husband and I were at a peace rally here in Victoria, BC, and it's kind of ironic because we're simply walking, standing up for peace and freedom and liberation and just laws. And as we were walking through the street, it's a peaceful walk. We were getting mooned. People were giving us their fingers, middle fingers. They were yelling at us. Some people were spitting. I mean, it's truly ironic. It's sad sometimes. But at the same point, we can't help but have a lot of compassion, because it was, just over a year ago that we didn't even know all the stuff that there is to know right now, all the stuff that's been coming out. So it's been a huge, huge learning opportunity for all of us. And I wanted to ask you then, how can we help? Like, how can everyday people help? I know Chris Guy has come out recently and he said, it's no longer enough just to get this information out, to raise awareness. For people that know, they kind of already know. And for people that don't know, it's likely no amount of information at this point from this side, like anything that's off mainstream media. He's not sure how that's going to impact people. So as far as what he advised, he said, when you go together for peace rallies or freedom rallies, for example, get together with people that you know. So parents, families get together with other parents and families and have conversations and figure out a strategy plan. So whether it's like getting our kids together within a community to start homeschooling them as a collective and, getting them out of the school system, which is not safe right now, or whether it's business owners coming together and figuring out, okay, on this day, we're going to open up all our businesses. And I think this is something that had happened, if I'm not mistaken, in Italy as well. This was done. So these are the specific call to action that he was encouraging. And I know I personally have been feeling that too. I feel like now is the time to act. Now is the time to actually figure out what we're going to do and implement action from here on end. What would you say is important to do right now? Like, how can we best support restaurant owners like yourself?
I think we need to give them the courage because that's really what it comes down to. It's power in numbers. So we kind of stuck our neck out there and opened, and maybe that wasn't the best route, although it did sort of create this all hands on deck sort of situation. But we really need to collectively get together, like just like you were mentioning, right? Like parents speaking up about masking in schools. Like if you're uncomfortable with it, don't just go along with it and hope for the best it's going to be over. We need to all speak, get together, and take a stand against this kind of thing. For restaurants, I would, support them as much as you can with takeout and let them know even that, like, if you decide to open, we support you. Because, and when we did open, we got, of course, all the negative attention from certain people, but there was an overwhelming support of people saying, you did the right thing. We all need to take a stand. So I think it is, and I don't know how to organize these groups together, but we need to let people know. Sorry.
That's okay.
But we do need to figure out a way to organize ourselves to get together and maybe create these little communities, these little pods, and just say, okay, yes, on this day. And that's what we're trying to do. There is, like I mentioned, a couple groups that are trying to help small businesses, and we're trying to organize and support people and let them know that you can do this. We can open up together and make this happen, because that's the only way they're going to make a change. Because if everyone just keeps going along and hoping for the best that it's going to end, it will not end. It will not, because they've gone too far now. It's too hard to claw back until we start saying, no, like enough is enough. And like you said, like we didn't know what this thing was in the beginning, but it is a year later and the data is there. We can see what this is, and what they are doing is completely wrong and makes no sense.
Great. And if you're still needing to figure out what that data is, our sister platform is Inspire Health Podcast, which is primarily run by my husband, and I kind of assist behind the scenes typically with that platform. And he deals with all the science, all the medical scientific studies that you would want to look at. You can go onto that platform if you're interested and look at that as a resource as well.
So what was it called?
Inspire Health Podcast.
Inspire Health. I'll check it out. Yeah.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Rebecca. I really appreciate your time. Thank you for your courage. And if there's anything we can do at this end, or in any way we can lend our support here, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Okay, thank you so much. It's nice to be able to use my voice. I know in the beginning I went on did a couple interviews with mainstream news, and of course we know what they do. So it's nice to be able to connect with someone who understands and is going to share the true story. So I really appreciate it. Thank you. Our
pleasure. And if people want to get a hold of you or figure out how to reach you and connect with you to offer their support, how would they find you?
So we are on Instagram at Corduroy Restaurant. So it's CORDUROY Restaurant, and I manage that social media account right now. And then you can email me personally at rebamat, REBAMATT @gmail.com.
Okay, perfect. And I will actually put those on the bottom of the show notes as well.
Okay, great. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
wonderful. Thank you so much for your time, Rebecca.
Okay, thank you.